Sup, losers? So, I finally am okay with giving Zelda Tears of the Kingdom my $70. I'll be honest, I was concerned for a little while. So as you guys already know, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has had a little bit of controversy for the past, honestly, couple of years since it was announced as to like what the game's going to be and if it's going to be good. I know a lot of people were basically concerned that the game looked like glorified DLC more than anything. Now, I know some of the complaints were a little bit too much, but most of the people who had complaints, I felt most of them were pretty valid. Also, if you're one of those people who are complaining about people complaining, let me let you know that you're just as bad as they are. I believe that everyone has a right to an opinion as to, whether or not they're ready to pay $70 for a game or something like that. And honestly, I felt like Tears of the Kingdom, had some pretty concerning trailers. So let me get into why I think the concerns were pretty valid, at least up until this point. So I think for me, what it all boils down to is a couple of the facts that was laid out. So first, we all know that they were reusing the same assets and reusing the same map. Now, I could already hear people complaining, like, obviously, there's more being put into it than just the assets and stuff. And I felt like a lot of people were kind of misunderstanding why the concerns were for reusing the assets. At least from my point of view, I didn't think inherently reusing assets is bad. I think if you're making a sequel to a game and you have assets made, you have this beautiful, wonderful world made, by all means, if you're going to use that to help with the game, go for it. I don't see any issues with that. However, my problem comes down to the fact that this game has had 5 to 6 years of development time. And if you're reusing assets and you are, you're not having to make most of a physics engine, stuff like that, where's that time going? I think another pretty important fact to know is a long development time does not always equal more things into a game. It started looking pretty concerning when you have a game that's reusing assets, reusing physics, reusing a good portion of the map, taking 5 to 6 years to develop, with the idea that not always does 5 to 6 years go into development time. Sometimes when a game takes a long time to develop, that screams that it's having difficulties in its development process. Skyward Sword ran into an issue where it had a really, really long development time, and it ran into the issue of the game didn't know what it wanted to be. And so it became kind of concerning with Tears of the Kingdom that all of the trailers that were releasing were showing basically nothing about the game. We didn't get dungeons, we didn't get any story, we got basically a couple of the same shots of Link falling through the sky using 1 or 2 new abilities, and then even the 10-minute gameplay trailer, we basically were just showed the same abilities that were kind of showed off in the other trailers. So it started becoming really concerning of, if this game is taking the same assets and is taking this long to develop, and they're not showing us anything new with all of these trailers, they're only showing us snippets of gameplay, is this game actually going to be good? Because it becomes concerning that it might just be a rehash of the other game with a couple of new stuff into it. And you want to have the benefit of the doubt because it is Zelda, and they did give us Breath of the Wild. But there comes a point where you can't trust developers, especially not in this day of age. You can't trust them to know that you're going to get a good product if they don't show you beforehand that you're getting a good product. But then that brings us to today, boys. With this final trailer that's been released, my concerns with the game have basically been quenched. I am quenched now. It showed me everything I was needing to see for this game. Dungeons, we've got finally some bosses that seem way more interesting than fighting Ganon 4 times in slightly different forms. People fighting alongside you. We've got story, finally seeing what Zelda's getting up to. I really hope she's playable. I don't know if she's going to be anymore, but I really, really freaking hope she is. We've got Ganondorf finally being showed, and I think he might be voiced by Matthew Mercer. He might not be, but I really freaking hope he is, because that would be super fucking cool. But yeah, I mean, this trailer showed me everything I needed to see for this game. There's probably a couple of things already that I forgot that I'd have to rewatch again to see what else I'm super excited for. But this kind of just wanted to be a little bit of a more reactionary video for me. I just wanted to showcase a couple of things and say that I'm finally okay with spending the price on the game. I was concerned for a while, but now that we got this, I am much less concerned about the game, and I'm more just really excited. I think we saw a little bit of the Zonai in this game. I know we've seen a little bits of Zonai before, but I believe that one gentleman in the middle of the trailer who's talking to Zelda, he seems to be Zonai, and that's really cool, and I'm hoping we see more about like what that is and what that means for the story. And a little bit of speculation, I think we saw Demise in this trailer too. So there's a shot of, we see Ganondorf in his face and stuff, but there's another shot of what you can guess is Ganondorf with long red hair from, it's a back shot. But the thing is I don't think that shot is Ganondorf. I think that's Demise. And it kind of plays into the theory that I think a couple of people were having, is that this is going to be a sequel to Breath of the Wild at the end of the timeline, but it's going to loop the timeline around, because if you saw, the logo of Tears of the Kingdom is an Ouroboros, which would be a symbol of the loop. Which, if you're a Xenoblade 3 fan like I am, you know a lot about the Ouroboros. But I think with Demise showing up in that game, this being a prequel to Skyward Sword would make a ton of sense and would honestly be really freaking cool to see kind of what's going on with this game. But anyways, yeah, I could probably go on all day about, you know, speculation and all that jazz, but that wasn't really the point of this video. Like I said, I kind of just wanted to describe my thoughts on the game and how this trailer definitely quelled a lot of those, and how I'm way more excited about the game today than I was like even a few weeks ago. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all are pleasantly surprised and excited by this trailer, and yeah, anyways, I wish you all a beautiful day, evening, good night, whatever you guys might be having. See you, folks.